Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am back with a movie review today of The Great Indian Kitchen, which created so much buzz online and so many people praised it. And now, after I've watched the movie, I totally get why. It is a really good movie, and I'm excited to do this review. So let's just dive right into it. So right off the bat, as the movie begins, I already liked it so much. The introduction in itself was so quick. There was no time wasted, and it was diving right into the story and into the introduction of the story. It was wasting no time, so I knew right off the bat, okay, this is good, because you see the editing, right? They're cutting to these shots. She's dancing, food is being prepared. When is so much food being prepared in an Indian family? When there's some guests coming, why are the guests coming? Somebody's coming to see her. So they're diving right into it, and the same editing continues throughout the movie. And I think the biggest thing that the movie gets right is the editing, because so much of it is dependent on it, right? Because there are minimal dialogues, which I loved about the movie as well. There's minimal dialogues, but just the shots and the cinematography say a lot about what they are trying to say. It's almost as if the movie is presenting you a look into an Indian kitchen, into an Indian household, and there are no words needed after that. You can just see what is wrong in the setup. And I think that was the best approach, because it's almost as if you are a fly on the wall watching all of this happen. And that's a great thing for a story, because instead of telling you what to think, it's showing you what to think. I remember reading this quote from an author, something along the lines of, when you're trying to write something big, about something big, like about mankind, don't write about the man, write about a man. Or if you're trying to write about the cruelties of war, don't talk about how many guns were used or how many people were killed or how many machineries were used. Write about a small child suffering in that war. And I think the movie also does something along those lines. I noted down a few of those small things in the movie that bring that sort of effect into the movie to make it so realistic, and I'm just gonna go through it quickly one by one. Firstly, there was the toothbrush, the daughter-in-law getting the toothbrush and paste for the father-in-law, where he could have just very easily gotten it himself. Then there was the whole cleaning up bits in the movie. There were so many shots of that, of her cleaning up. Third, it was all the work that she was doing, just so much that she was doing, and you could see that, every time she worked, she was always working in a very fast pace. Like, I noticed that a lot, because when I'm cooking, I'm usually doing it to chill, to relax, and I do it in a very, I do it at my own pace. But every time she was doing it as if it's like, she's running some race. And there was so many things always in the kitchen and so much work to do. Those small things, like, the way she was doing it so fast and the clutter that was there in the kitchen, I think that was on purpose, because it showed what was happening. Fourth is, whenever she got her period, she was not allowed to get into the kitchen. She was always in this room. And, I think the movie puts this whole thought behind a woman getting her menstrual cycle really into perspective, because up till that point she was doing so much work that you just want her to get a break. And finally, when she gets it, because of this stupid reason, but nonetheless she gets a break and she's in that room. But then it's just so ridiculous that she's like confined there, and then obviously she gets bored there and it's suffocating. The fifth was the whole manners thing that went on, where the people just made a mess out of the table, and one time where she just spoke up and said, okay, so you have manners out of the house, and you could see how angry her husband got. It really just hurt his ego. Number 6 is, I think, right before the end, where she's about to walk away from the family. They show all of these shots of different pictures in the house of different generations of that family, and in the process it shows all the women who have been doing this work all their lives, and she is one person at the end of this tree of women, who says, I'm not gonna take it, and she walks out of there. Number 7 is, I think, whenever they show the daughter of the family, the pregnant woman, it kind of always shows a little bit of different treatment for her. And also this one scene where her friend calls her to say, I have this performance and you need to come, and then they show right after that her husband coming and saying, okay, I'm gonna cook this biryani today. And that shows a contrast between people living in a sort of more equal households versus hers. Number 8, I think, is always these long shots of the food being prepared, and obviously it is very satisfying to look at it, because it's almost like you're watching a cooking video. But it also again just showed the effort that went into it, how much work it took to make all of these dishes. And 9 is that we always saw the women cooking, always it was the women cooking, and then the one time when the men decided to cook and give a rest to the women, they created a mess out of the kitchen. And I think that just went on to say that cooking is not just mixing things, it's also preparing the food before, washing it, cutting the vegetables, and then mixing them, and then cleaning the utensils that you've used and managing the whole kitchen. And that brings me to my next point, which is that I just felt so tired looking at her. Just by looking at her, the way the movie was edited and the shots that were taken obviously helped in doing that, because I felt tired when I looked at her because of all the work that she was doing. And obviously it also made me really angry, the way she was being treated, all the things that she had to put up with. And it really just, I think that emotion was really drawn out from me by the movie. But interestingly, what the movie was able to do is that it really reduced it down to a very human level because of the editing and the shots. Again, I know I said it so many times, but there's those shots where they show her cooking in the morning and doing a million different things while the men in the family just relax. The guy is doing yoga and the father-in-law is either sitting on the chair, going through WhatsApp or reading the newspaper or doing, relaxing things. So the movie really reduced it down to that human level where you see this one house, these are the humans in the house. Look at this one human doing so much work while two of these humans are just relaxing. On a lighter note, I'm sure a lot of us could relate to her character because of all the work that we did in the lockdown. Lastly, I think the movie was really well written, directed, and then executed by GOPB. I think it was really well done. It's a very important and much needed film because it's such an integral part of everybody's lives, and that's why I think it's a must watch. And yeah, that was my review of The Great Indian Kitchen. Thank you for suggesting it to me. I really enjoyed watching it. And if you enjoyed watching this review, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, let me know your thoughts in the comment sections below, and I shall see you next time. Bye.